An estimated 70,000 protesters gathered today in Dublin from all areas of the public sector to voice their anger over further possible cuts to jobs and wages.
Everybody is going to have to share a certain amount of pain, but it has to be done fairly and it has to be done based on people's ability to pay, and that has to start at the top, and that's not what's actually happening at the moment.
Protesters met all over the country today, but here in Dublin the march began in Parnell Square, moving over O'Connell Bridge through to Marion Square, where ICTU leaders gave their speeches to the crowds.
We will not go away, we will not roll over, we will not surrender, regardless of what they do. We insist that the people at the top of society pay their contribution, and that is the only solution.
As the crowds listened and cheered in response, it was clear that this view was shared by all those that turned out to march. Socialist MEP Joe Higgins also said that public service workers should not be punished for the current crisis.
The working people did not cause this crisis. That was caused by the greed of big speculators, bankers and developers. Now the government is bailing out that element, but on the shoulders of ordinary workers, pensioners and the unemployed.
The protesters today are hoping that changes will be made to the December budget, but have threatened strike action in order to persuade the government to make these adjustments. ICTU President Jack O'Connor says that the government's plan only favours those at the top of our society.
They're now going with a $4 billion adjustment at the expense of working people and the people who depend on public services, and they're doing so at the behest of those at the top of society who are prepared to contribute nothing.
General Secretary of the ICTU, David Begg, painted a grim picture of what lies ahead if these €4 billion cuts are implemented.
If this budget is passed, I warn you, do not be unemployed because you will not be able to support your families. Do not have special needs, for you will not have them met.
The groups that turned out today will continue to campaign against this happening.
While thousands of people have marched in Dublin and in 7 other locations across the country, it is now up to the government whether a national day of striking will take place on November 24th. Elizabeth Lavin, Channel 4 News, Dublin.